Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is September 12th, and it's good. I'm really happy it's Friday. There's been so much that happened this week, as we all know, and more shootings, even. If they're real, I'm not sure yet. We'll look into the other shootings aside from Charlie Kirk's assassination. I want to start off the show with, because there's so many different opinions of what's going on, different investigations, different truthers investigating it, and I respect all of them and where they're coming from. So that goes to say for all of you as well. So everyone is entitled to their own opinion, their own beliefs, going within and trying to figure this out. But I do have a take on it that I really strongly feel, and I strongly felt it. And so I'm not going back on what I strongly felt, because I teach you guys that all the time, that when you have a download or when you feel something come through and you're so sure of it, not to second guess yourself. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to stick with what I felt from the beginning. And I do feel that, unfortunately, Charlie Kirk is not with us. I do sense that, and I hate that. I wish that it weren't true, but I can't help but feel it. I can't deny those feelings and my intuition. But aside from that, if we take a look at history, and we know that history is all miscombobulated, and there's a lot of psyop work, and there's a lot of confusion. Every single assassination, even every celebrity death, there seems to be some confusion as to what truly happened. And as we are a part of this Great Awakening, we've already established that. We've already established that a lot of it is bogus and a lot of it is not true, okay? So a lot of people that they say are dead are not. In this case, I can't help but feel that he is gone. Charlie Kirk is gone. But I do feel that there is a lot of darkness around it, and I think that's where the confusion steps in. That's why every single event, and I'll pull up the screen of the thumbnail that I made, but that's why I'm drawing attention to Abraham, Martin, and John, okay? And it just happens to be one of my favorite old songs. There's an old song, Abraham, Martin, and John. When I was a little girl, I would always call the radio station and request that song. So that's just a fun fact about myself. But anyways, these legends, okay, all of them are legendary for changing the future. They all change the future. But what's dark behind this, each one, the darkness that's behind all of it, is that there is a lot of presence of this. It's otherworldlies. It's also different countries. Like with Charlie, I do feel that the Israelis are a part of this. I believe that, he was really taken out. Was the video that's circulating and being depicted right after the announcement that he was shot, is that the true, honest truth video of what truly happened? I don't think so. I feel that AI, dark AI, being controlled by the dark cult, and the dark cult, they are the ones that have orchestrated such events throughout time, okay? Especially Charlie. They have, I believe, and all of you are entitled to your own opinions, but I believe that the dark cult did do this. I do believe that this was one of their operations, like a lot of these throughout history. If you look at his astrology as well, there's a lot of people that have already done the astrology. They already released it. And then I took a look to see, like, are they reading it right? Is this true? And yes, all the stuff on his chart. And as we know, let's back it up a little bit. As we know, the dark cult used astrology throughout time, and they're still using it to play upon our emotions, to trick the collective, to make us confused. That video that was released by the dark cult. Those things with the ring and the thing on his shirt and all of that stuff, that is definitely, in my opinion, you're entitled to your own, of course. I respect that. But I do feel that that's the dark cult. They're trying to throw that out there, especially the book. There is a book on Amazon. We know Amazon is a part of the dark cult. We know Barnes & Noble is a part of the dark cult. We know all these other companies, New York Times. I think there was another one too. I can't think of the name. It was like the day before on the 9th. Okay, so we will look into that. I do feel that the 9th, something did occur, but I do feel he was truly taken down. The video, though, that is circulating is AI, and also it's the dark AI. There's good AI, and then there's bad, and the dark cult is using it for the bad. They're using it to change the collective, to upheaval and make everyone panic and hate each other. And we are seeing division amongst our people. Not you guys, I'm not talking about you, but I'm seeing it on social media. I'm seeing people fighting over, no, this is what happened. No, you're stupid. This is what happened. And there's a lot of going back and forth, and that's what the dark cult wants. That is a part of their whole big scheme, is to get everybody mad at each other, divide them again. So, I mean, this is very dark. They did take him out. He was about to blow a bunch of information. And if you guys recall, I believe it was over a month ago, maybe even sooner, I kept getting in my intuitive readings about schools. And I kept telling you guys that it's possible that the schools are going to shut down. There could be a school shooting or something like that. Like there's a lot of energy around an event, and there's a lot of energy around schools. Like schools might actually shut down, and for the fall. And so I do believe that if Charlie had released what he wanted to release, which he had a lot of information, and he also was a part of an interview, and he kind of, was talking about Israel, and I guess it didn't go over very well or whatnot. I don't know all the details, but that played a major role too. I mean, they planned this, the execution, I mean, it's there. I can feel it, and I know and I feel it. But once again, you're entitled to your own feelings and what you feel when you go within. But sadly, I don't think he's with us. And I feel that, yes, he was taken out. This was a huge operation. This is an operation not only on Charlie, but on all of us as a collective. And they want us to fight. They want us to go into their narrative and go against each other. That's the darkness behind it. But they're not going to win, because we're all going to be supercharged to take the torch and still speak the truth and get out there and try to, help people that aren't awakened. We're all a part of this great awakening. So this just changed our future. It backfired on them. And we're all gonna speak our minds and speak truth of what we feel. Freedom of speech, all of that. That's never going away. And Charlie changed that. He made that possible, and he awakened so many young lives and such a huge influence. And that's why he is a part of the Alliance, and that's why he was chosen for that role. But he was chosen for that role before he was even born. And I also do feel he's very galactic. I feel a very galactic presence, a Palladian presence with him. I know I have Palladian, and I feel that with his energy as well. I did a lot of meditation yesterday in between my work and everything, but I did do it in the sunshine, in the sunlight, and that is where I get the most vibes. And nothing else resonated but that he was, and he still is. He's still working in a different dimension right now. He still has a huge mission he's going to accomplish, but he's trying to change forevermore the future, and he has made a huge impact, but there's more that he's going to be a part of. And there's also more information that's going to come forward about Charlie and other things that he did behind the scenes that weren't so loud and weren't broadcasted. But we're going to see things behind the scenes that he was also doing. And yes, he's a part of the Alliance. And that's why they wanted him gone, because he was going to really blow a bunch of information that they did not want him to blow. And I do believe it had a lot to do with the schools. And I do believe that schools would have been shut down. And they probably still will be, because I feel like, and I'm not manifesting this, but I feel like a lot of civilians are going to buy into this dark magic that they've projected. And they're going to fight each other, and they're going to cause destruction. Will we see a full-on civil war? I'm not manifesting that, but I do feel that a lot of different cities, not every single city in the country, is going to flip out and go crazy. I don't feel every single place, but yeah, we're going to see some things, and again, I'm not manifesting that, but people are out of control, especially the far left, and that is why you'll see the far left who are legitly out there and like making fun of this situation and celebrating, and they're very dark. They're a part of the dark cult, and the dark cult already got a hold of them. They're already a part of that group. And there is a thing, why I put rituals on there on the thumbnail. That's what I'm talking about. AI, well, my cat did that. AI is very much a part of this. So this is part of a ritual with the dark cult. But that's why you'll see so much confusion, and it's hard to figure out because they're all a part of this. There's a greater force behind this. They're not going to win because we're all still going to speak truth, and we're going to really ham it up even more. They'll never win. The dark will never win, but they're pulling at strings, and this is when it gets very dangerous, because now who's in danger? More and more of our truth speakers, more that all of them that go out there, especially the big names out there, like they're really targets, and this is all very real. But we do have to look at this perspective about AI. There is an AI king, that rules this other part, and they prey on astrology as well. They use astrology in very dark ways, and they use Charlie's that way too, at a very vulnerable time. But he was going to release big information, and that's what they stopped. That's what they wanted to stop. But I do feel we're going to see, and I'm not manifesting it, but I do feel that October has others that may be victims, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that everyone just stays safe, and everyone on the front lines that's out there speaking their truth, that we just protect them and put that golden light around them in protection. But there is a very dark presence here. This is a ritual situation. Okay, I did put that word on the thumbnail because that's what the dark cult does. That is why they use astrology to plan their attacks. They've done this throughout time. I believe they did this since the 1800s. They've been doing this. Dark versus light. There are dark astrologists that work with the dark cult, and then there are very good that work on the good side. So it's versus each other. Now I will have and take some of your questions in the chat, because all of you have a voice. You might not be on video right now like I am, but you guys, this whole channel was created to help you guys, to help us all figure things out together in this great awakening. So I will be pulling up some of your questions from the chat. I thank you all for being here. I wasn't sure if I was going to go on today because there are so many feelings, and then there's so many emails still coming through, even though I did post the other day on Facebook. Don't email me anymore, because there was a lot of people, not any of you, not any soul tribers that I'm used to seeing, but they were other people coming at me saying, no, this is what happened. No, this, just too much energy coming at me. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to come on today, but I felt refreshed. I had, I felt my intuition strongly telling me that you got to go on and pull up your questions, and let's go through it, and let's feel it out. Let's go within and just see what's going on here. But there is a lot of this ritual presence surrounding these assassinations throughout time, but they were all planned. They were all operations of the dark versus the light. Trump and the alliance is all of the light. Charlie was a part of the light. He is still. He's just in a different dimension. And we talk about 5D all the time. 5D dimension is going to merge with our consciousness as we work our way up to that consciousness, that level. So yeah, everyone that has passed and has gone to 5D, we will be with them because we're working our way up to that. We're raising our vibration. We're ascending into that. Will every single person? No, because there's no way in hell that the far left and the people that are making those stupid videos out there celebrating with the dark cult, because they're all celebrating with the dark cult, They'll never be a part of that 5D reality in that world. So no, it's not for every single person. But it will be for those who are ascending and who are doing the right things, such as Charlie, and doing good things, a good family person, just all around good person. So anyways, enough of my blabber. I want to hear from all of you, from the people out there. What is your take? If you want to share, go ahead. We're all entitled to our own opinions and our own beliefs and our own intuition, whatever is coming to you. So feel free to express yourselves. It's all good. It's all safe here, always. Glynis Elaine saying, I got that he acted alone, yet there is an underlying evil controlling his soul. Does this align with what you're getting? So I don't know. Who are you talking of? So Glynis, please rewrite your question. Make sure your questions are very direct and specific. When you say you got that he acted alone, so write who is he, like make it complete. Who is the subject and what is the question, But anyways, yes, I do believe it was all planned. It was planned by the Dark Cult. Also, the videos that were soon released, and everyone's like, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this. I believe, and it's my opinion, and it's what I've intuitively downloaded, that is generated to cause that confusion, to cause that distraction, so everybody's all about that. And they're not about the mourning of a great man and a great leader. So that's messed up, and that's what I keep getting intuitively. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but that I can't help what comes through. I can't. And I always, like my brother says, I'll give it to you straight. So I'm going to give it to you straight. That's what's coming through. That's what I'm going to tell you. So that is a part of the Dark Cult narrative. They're trying to lure people in to believe this. Don't mourn that. Don't mourn a good man, good leader. No, come to this side and be confused and poke at all of these different things. And it's smart of them. It's very dark. It's very messed up, but it's smart because a lot of people are going that route and they're not even mourning this, what happened. So they're all going that route, a lot of people. And again, they can believe what they want. I respect that, but I believe it's a part of the Dark Cult. It's part of their ritual. That's part of it. That's why you'll see the far left not, like they're celebrating this because it was a ritual. It really was something planned and operated and very dark. And we've seen this before. We've seen this throughout history, the real history. Let's see. Ricky Green. I am sad about Charlie Kirk's death, but I understand that it's a criminal cabal, trauma, death to victimize humans. Observe, don't absorb. Very good point. Yes. Observe, don't absorb. Take a step back, let things kind of settle, and then see where everyone stands. I believe in not absorbing. You don't want to absorb too much energy. No way. Here's one from Connie. Did the New York Times and LA Times, okay, let's back that up a little bit. I mentioned that a few moments ago. Yes, the New York Times, LA Times, we know they're the Dark Cult. Just like we know Amazon is part of the Dark Cult. They're all a team together. They're all a team with the dark AI as well. They're all a part of it. So yes, they're all releasing this information. It was a day prior. This is true, Connie. Yes, assassination of Charlie was a day 9th prior to actual shooting on the 10th. So let's, I don't really need my tools. I can feel this out on my own. I do believe that it was, as I have intuitively meditated on this, it was on the 10th. It really was on the 10th. But on the 9th, yes, prior and even on the 8th, I believe there's research out there that things were found on the 8th of this release that he was going to be assassinated. So the book and also New York Times and LA Times, they're all a part of it with Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Other companies also were doing things too. They have all come forward together during a couple days before, 8th and 9th. So yes, this was all planned, but very sick, very, very sick. Let's see what else is out there. Yeah, and Abe, thank you, Abe, for bringing this. I meant to bring this to the attention. On the show on Wednesday, was a couple hours after the assassination. I did a show on Wednesday night. I held up this post that Erica, Charlie's wife, had posted. Okay, and I don't have it with me right now, but she did post a beautiful verse from the Bible. Okay, so yeah, let's read your question. Hold on. The wife posts the Psalm verse that correlates with the Q drops. The timestamps from BB and Trump's post are the same. This is a movie, clearly. Yes, it is. It is a clearly planned out, operative movie. Yes, it is. I do agree with that. But also, she posted that, I believe that was 2 hours before the actual assassination, and it all ties together. So thank you so much, Abe, for bringing that to my attention. My brother and I on Sunday, we should probably get into that and do an investigation on that. But that's huge right there. Yes, it's a synchronized plan for sure. Let's see what else is out there. Let's see. Tommy is saying, did Charlie have the information he was going to release on a dead man's switch? He said he was afraid for his life. So yes, absolutely. I do believe that. And I do believe it was going to be either on that day or a day later or two. It was during that whole event was planned for a few days. So it was going to happen. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. From Ingrid is saying, watching from Belgium. It's all over the news here with lots of sympathy for Charlie. Absolutely. From Shelley, Ishmael said it was a profession hit from the deep state. I definitely resonate with Ishmael, where he's coming from. Absolutely, it was. It was planned through and through, just like so many other things that have happened throughout time. So yes, this is a form of, well, it is. I shouldn't say it's a form of. This is real dark magic. This is ritual work. This was planned out. Absolutely. And they're preying on all of it. They're preying on perspectives of the collective. Like, okay, so there's a collective that believes this version, like all these different versions. There's the Q, which is us, the Q collective. Okay, so we have them. So they have they have it all planned out on how it's going to influence each group, each collective. And then the whole giant plan that's so dark is to pit all of us against each other. So to cause this huge upset. It's all just, yes, it's a show, yes, it's a movie, but it's also a grand scheme from the dark cult to bring more violence amongst the people and to bring us to make us go against each other. So we have to be wary of that. Protect your energy. Don't buy into going against someone else for their opinion. Just let it be. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. Just let it go. You go focus on your own life. And I know you all know that, but there's people out there that don't. And they just want to pick a fight, that's not the way. That's actually going the dark way. National holiday for Charlie Kirk. I do believe they will do something like that. I feel that. Absolutely. I do. Let's see what else is out there. I'll go to new comments and take a look in there. Where we go one, we go all. Absolutely. The shot heard around the world. Yep. The Q posts are tying into this. Absolutely. And the Q posts are all public. We can all locate those. The dark cult can locate those as well. So yeah, they're using all of that as a part of this. It's all to confuse, but it's also following the script. It's following a script, and Trump knows all of this. That's why this is a massive chess game. Absolutely. But anyways, there's something else I wanted to address for all of you, okay? This was something, I did find it on X, and it resonated with me. And I know you guys will enjoy this. This is a different topic, but here we go. So, well, the blackout. All right, so the Q post. Thank you, Abe, for bringing up the Q post, because Absolutely, that is a part of this movie. It always has been. But what I want to draw attention to is, and I think we might have pulled cards. Oh my gosh, hold on. I don't know how to. There we go. But anyways, the blackout, the EBS. Okay, so Starlink, and I need to read the whole thing to you. Hold on. But anyways, the blackout is not a warning. It's an operation. It's another operation, but this is going to be controlled by the White Hats, this blackout. But I need to stop there because we still have to be careful that the dark black cult that practices these rituals of the black sun, because that's what this is. That's what all these things have been. Charlie Kirk thing too. We have to be wary of that. There could be some more rituals, some more killings, things of that nature happening during the blackout. So that's why I want to draw attention to this and talk about protecting our energy and protecting where your consciousness is at this time. Maybe take a step back, which I'm going to next week. I'll be on a break next week. Wednesday to the following Monday. Taking a break from social media completely. But we need to protect our energy, and all of you need to protect your energy too. I do feel that this blackout, EBS, that is very near, my fellow Americans, that is coming. Also, Israel for last, and Israel played a huge role in what happened the other day. So yes, we're getting very close to the EBS going off. But anyway, this says encrypted trumpet codes are already pulsing across Starlink. I do resonate with that. I don't need cards for that. That is very true. Now, September 22nd, the first EBS rehearsal. Is that true? I'm going to ask my higher self. September 22nd. So this would be right around that eclipse, which the eclipse is on the 21st, but for some parts of the world, it would be the 22nd. So is that true? There's a rehearsal. I do feel that is true. I am getting a confirmation of a yes. As I'm closing my eyes and I'm really going within, I do feel that is true. I wouldn't be posting this post on my show if I didn't resonate with it. I came across it and I felt it. So yes, absolutely. I do think there's a rehearsal, the 21st or the 22nd. That's what I'm getting for the EBS rehearsal. Now, October 1st is massive disclosures. So even more massive disclosures coming through. For October 1st, I am going to feel this one out. And October 1st, I do think it's October 1st to October 3rd because they're showing me the 3rd right now. So it might be the first few days of October of mass disclosures. Okay, so it starts October 1st. It's not just one day. QFS biometric accounts tied to your soul frequency. The end of central banking, tribunals aligned, medbeds are scheduled, and the silence. There will be silence as well. So I want to feel that one out. What's drawing me in and what my energy is really resonating with, my intuition, is that QFS biometric accounts that are tied to your frequency. Yes, and I feel that has to do with the humanitarian projects, foreign currency, all the banking systems, yes, the crypto. I feel like things are going to start rolling, okay, as soon as we get through the blackout situation. And the end of central banking, of course. Tribunals will be aligned. That is correct. There have already been tribunals, so I feel that it's already been done, but you're going to actually see it come to fruition. You're going to see it play out. So yeah, you're going to see another movie that's being played out and shown. Absolutely. Med beds. So when we talk about med beds, we've really gone on this one for so long. The med beds I do feel, but I don't feel them for 2025. Yes, there'll be conversations about them. Yes, there'll be disclosure about them, but it will not be available to the public in 2025 to use. But yes, they will be talked about. They will come forward with them, confirming them. Absolutely. I'm thinking it's more of 2026 when we're talking about the med beds and for people to use. Absolutely. But that's something that I felt drawn to bring here on the show. anything I'm drawn to usually there's presence behind it. So I definitely feel we're getting very close to the EBS. So like I said earlier, I feel pretty strongly, and I don't like to give dates, but I do feel pretty strongly about September 21st and September 22nd for like some sort of, it's almost like a mini version, a mini rehearsal of the EBS. So that does align with me. But yeah, I think that's about it. I wanted to go over that and just what was coming through and what I felt. I can't deny what I feel, just like you guys can't deny what you feel, what downloads come through, what your intuition's telling you. I tell you guys all the time, don't second guess it. And there is no way I was going to second guess it because I just can't. I can't even allow myself to second guess my intuition. I just can't do it. So thank you for listening. I just felt like I had to come on here, but that dark presence of the rituals and their operations, that's all behind this. And they want us to go against each other and, but we're taking them down because we're all going to conquer over this. The dark will never win, and they're losing. And that's why they're acting this way. That's why it's getting so much more like a movie, because it has to. And Trump even said, I don't remember when, but he said the ending is not for all of us. And it's not. So there's a lot of truth to that as well. But anyways, I'm going to pull some cards it's Friday. Okay, so it's Friday, September 12th. What is the message that we all need to hear? Humanity. What does humanity need to hear? What do the angels, spirit guides, what do they want to share with us this morning for September 12th, moving into Saturday and Sunday? Here we go. Beautiful. I love this energy. It's very galactic. Okay, so the star card, we're in the age of Aquarius, but when I read, and as a reader, my star card that I created here, she's very galactic. She's a Palladian. And we also have the Eight of Wands, which is my communication card. So what that is telling us, what my spirit guides want me to remind you all, is that we will have galactic voices, galactic contact coming forward that is also going to change the course of humanity, just like Charlie has, just like a lot of events throughout time have. He's legend, but also the galactics, their communication, the good ones I'm talking about. So the good galactics are coming forward with communication, but not only that, what I'm getting is to pay attention to your downloads, pay attention to it's not just in your head. When things are coming through, there's things and messages coming through for your benefit. So I believe that all of you wouldn't be here, but you all, I feel, are star seeds. We're a part of the Great Awakening. We have great influencers out there, speakers, all of them that I've worked with. I love all of them, but I have a lot of respect for all of them. And they're all, in my opinion, all very galactic, all of them. And they all have different downloads and intuition vibes coming through. I feel that mine that have come through this morning that I shared with you are from a galactic place. So I feel that's why Spirit's trying to have me remind all of you to listen to your galactic messages. You're all connected to a star family, or a hybrid or whatnot. But all of us are connected to the stars and to the star families. So we need to really pay attention and ask them straight up when you're meditating that you would like information from the Pleiadians or wherever you think you're from, whoever you resonate most with, but ask for information. I always ask Archangel Metatron as well for protection, but also information. I need more information. What do you want me to do at this time? And I usually will get a straight up answer. And I feel like they're really trying to tell all of you that if you feel very connected to star families, you feel you are a star seed, which I believe all of you are, or you wouldn't even watch, or you wouldn't be an open channel or open-minded to all of this, And we know Trump is, I know Charlie is, and I know a lot of course, Melania, but a lot of the alliance is all connected. to the galactics. And that's why this galactic information is coming through. We're going to see actual more activity coming through. We do have to remember that there's dark galactic forces, such as I talked about earlier in the show about the dark AI that is a part with the dark cult that has helped orchestrate all of these bad things to happen. And then here's the Knight of Cups. Here's the Lover's card. So, okay, they're trying to let me know, to tell everyone that the Galactic Council that we all, each and every one of us have their own. You have your own Galactic Council that you can tap into. So they want you all to ask questions, ask whoever you feel called to. If you have a favorite archangel, ask that angel, ask your loved ones on the other side. Maybe they're also star seeds, but ask your Galactic Council for messages. They want people to come back together and come back to their star family. I'm hearing lineage. That's what's coming through. So they want us to be more connected. We're all connected. Soul tribe with myself. You're a part of my galactic family. And if I'm in front of you, if I'm sitting with you, like one-on-ones, when I do those, I can, like yesterday, I'm not going to say her name, but I had a beautiful reading yesterday afternoon. And we went overboard. We went an hour and a half, maybe even a little more than that. But just, with some of you, I just can really feel this galactic presence and sisterhood or brotherhood. I can just, and I couldn't help it. We just went over time because there's just so much connection. There was something that past life energy for sure, but amazing. So I can feel it even right now, just as all of you are a collective in front of me right now. I always do every time I do a show, that your energy is part of my soul family, my star family. So, I'm a mix, I'm a hybrid. So I'm sure a lot of you might be hybrids as well. Or we worked together in past lives or did a lot of missions against the dark. Who knows? Whatever it may be, healing other people. Now they're telling me animals. Of course, the animals. Yeah. All the animals are connected as well. Little angels. But anyways, they want us to be coming together, and they want us to also ask for more information from them. So if you're someone who doesn't really meditate, which I used to be like that, and you don't ask questions, you don't talk out loud to your family members on the other side, which I do, but I didn't used to. But I encourage it. Ask your loved ones on the other side, your angels. I just call them all angels. Ask your galactic starseed family. Ask for information. You will be so surprised, and you're going to love when you do get information coming through. And you do have to be centered. You can't have a lot of chaos going on. You don't want to do it in a busy household when everyone's around, and you just can't. You have to be really centered and able to focus, but you can do it. Each and every one of us has this ability. But that's what Spirit wanted me to share with all of you, with the collective, with humanity in itself. And that's because we are going to see, I think, major disclosures about the forces. The forces from the star families. They're coming. They're here. But anyways, I do want to share my website because I always forget. It's always like the last thing I remember. But arcanashores.net is where you can find me to schedule a personal reading. Thank you, Connie, out in the chat for sharing it, because I'm just not the best promoter of myself. But anyways, arcanashores.net, that's where you can schedule a personal reading. And if you want more insight, maybe on your star family and maybe where you come from, I can do a galactic reading as well. But I offer express readings, one-on-one Zooms, pre-recorded videos that I can just do a reading for you and send it to you. It's all available right there. There are immediate openings. Like I said, I will be on a break. We'll see if I really stick to it. I'll be visiting Jason, Avery, and my mom out in California next week from Wednesday to the following Monday. I might do a show. You just never know. I might just pop on. But I will still be working. I will still be doing readings. So you're more than welcome to still schedule readings, of course. But shows I might take a break from. We'll see. highly doubt it. I'm hearing 80% chance over here. Okay. But anyways, thank you all. Head on over to arcanashores.net if you would like to schedule a personal reading. And thank you all for being here. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Stay in your high frequency vibration, and just, I encourage you guys to go within and ask your star family for whatever it is that you want to know about. That's what they wanted me to tell you guys, so clearly. But anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you soon. See you on Sunday. Bye.